Close your eyes and tell me what you see.
Whoa.
The library.
Open your eyes again.
Whoa. Astral projection,
No.
maybe?
My living room, Dr. Moon.
Oh, that door? Yeah.
What's wrong?
Something's here. Someone's got in. No one's supposed to get in.
Is it going to be the Doctor and Donna?
She's always been alone.
It's not in her mind, is it? It's a place, clearly. I mean, the Doctor and Donna showed up.
Hello. Sorry to burst in on you like this. Okay, if we stop here for a bit.
Oh. So at first it kind of seemed like astral projection or something of that sort. But it's certainly a place, right? A physical place because the Doctor and Donna just showed up. Silent Hill. Oh, Moffat. Late in the season, Stephen Moffat.
By now you've got holovids, direct-to-brain downloads, fiction mist, but you need the smell. The smell of books, Donna.
Absolutely. Agreed.
You know what? This is the biggest library in the universe.
No one's here.
So where is everyone?
Doctor, why are we here? Really, why?
Oh, you know, just passing.
No, but there's nothing here. There's no one.
I mean, there's some sort of life form.
A million life forms. And silence in the library.
But there's no one here.
There's someone here.
Message follows. Run. For God's sake,
Oh.
run.
Oh, that's not
No
good.
way is
That's
safe.
never good.
For God's sake, remember, if you want to live, count the shadows.
Ooh, I'm loving the music in the background.
Message ends.
It's kind of giving me that tone from Blink. Oh, beautiful shot again. I have to find out who the DP is on this episode.
Yeah, I kind of sort of lied a bit.
Yeah.
I got a message on the psychic paper. What do you think? Cry for help?
Cry for help with a kiss.
Oh.
Oh, we've all done that, huh?
Who's it from?
No idea.
So why did we come here? Why did you...
Donna.
Isn't that kind of special? Oh. Run.
Damn, the wood's warm!
Oh, okay. This is the opening of the episode, isn't it?
No, stop it!
So she has some kind of connection to... some kind of link?
Ooh, I'm
Whoa.
sorry. I really am. But what's casting it?
Ooh. But this is fascinating.
The library has been...
Oh. Here they come. Whoa. Go on, show yourself. Ooh.
Hello, sweetie.
Get out.
Doctor.
Oh, you're not, are you? Tell me you're not archaeologists.
Got a problem with archaeologists?
Oh, I love her hair.
I point and laugh at archaeologists.
Whoa.
Professor River Song.
River Song.
Archaeologist.
River Song.
Interesting female. Let me see those fingertips.
You need to set up a quarantine beacon. Code all the planet.
Intellectual property of the FILMBuFF Corporation.
Right, give it in.
Yeah, they're not going to sign anything.
Years ago, the library's been silent for 100 years. Whatever came here is long dead.
Your life.
Always.
I like her.
I said silver dog.
That look? She called him sweetie. And had a big old smile on her face.
Pretty boy, you're with me.
Pretty boy.
Step into my office. Pretty boy, with me, I said.
That's you.
Oh, I'm pretty boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that came out a bit quick.
It did.
Pretty?
Yeah.
Trust me, I just spent 4 days on a ship with that woman. She's,
Couldn't tell the difference
Come on now.
between the escape pod and the bathroom. You had to go
Oh,
back.
Donna's not going to like this.
Thanks.
Well, that looks like the TARDIS, her notebook.
Usual for coming when I call.
Oh, that was you.
You're doing a
Yeah.
very good job acting like you don't know me. I'm assuming there's a reason.
Oh.
Going by your face, I'd say it's early days for you, yeah? So...
Whoa. She knows he's a Time
The
Lord.
Byzantium, have we done that yet?
Yeah, it looks like the TARDIS, the doors.
Picnic at Asgard. Have we done Asgard yet?
Okay, who is she?
Look at you.
Okay, this is someone from his past. Like,
You're young.
I'm really not, you know.
No, but you are. Your eyes. You're younger than I've ever seen you.
okay, so she's seen a few different.
You've seen me before then.
Oh man, River's song. Most interesting.
Dad, the phone.
So they're looking it up, but the call's going to that phone, to her.
Pardon people, let there be light.
I want to know more about her. Come on, Doctor. You know that looks like the TARDIS. Look at it.
Sorry, you're not allowed to see inside the book. It's against the rules.
What rules?
Your rules.
Whoa. Whoa.
You alright?
What's that? What's happening?
Oh, thanks for, you know, offering to help with the lights.
Of course, Donna. As expected.
Don't want me.
Then why don't you sign his contract? I didn't either. I'm getting worse than you.
Okay. Tell me who this is right now. I like her.
I trust this man. With my life. With everything.
You've only just met him.
Nope. He's only just met me.
Whoa. Look at this set design. Unless this is the location. On location. It could be. I mean, it totally could be. Something seems to be stalking. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, that camera shot that goes behind.
Sometimes it can hold an impression of a living consciousness for a short time after death. I'm going after him.
Where's that woman? The nice woman. Is she there?
What woman?
Donna.
Yeah, I'm here. You okay?
What I said before about being stupid. Don't tell the others, they'll only laugh.
Of course I won't. Of course I won't tell him.
Don't tell the others, they'll only laugh.
Oh, it's just
I
gonna
won't
repeat
tell
now.
them.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
Wow.
Ice cream.
That was powerful, actually. That moment.
Does anybody mind if I...
Ice cream.
Whatever did this to her? Whatever killed her?
Oh, quite the experience that.
Dad.
I'll introduce you. What's in that book?
Spoilers.
Who are you?
Professor River Song, University of...
To me. Who are you to me?
Again. Spoilers.
There's the real world, and there's the world of nightmares.
It's drawing up
You
top.
understand that?
Yes, I know, Dr. Moon.
What I want you to remember is this. The real world is a lie. And your nightmares are real. The library is real. There are people trapped in there. People who need to be saved. The shadows are moving again.
Whoa, he knows all about this.
We go way back, that man and me.
Oh.
Just not this far back.
I'm sorry, what?
He hasn't met me yet.
Oh.
I sent him a message, but it went wrong. It arrived too early. This is the doctor in the days before he knew me. You're Donna Noble.
Yeah. Why?
She knows her too?
I do know the doctor, but in the future. His personal future.
So why don't you know me? Where am I in the future?
I mean, she just said your name, full name. Donna Noble. Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Right! Brilliant! That's why I like the little shop. Okay, let's move in.
Just like in Smith and Jones. Oh look, a little shop.
I mean, you've got two shadows.
Count the shadows.
Pass it on.
Gotcha.
What's that?
It's a screwdriver.
Sonic.
Yeah, I know. Snap.
Where did it go?
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say, is she some sort of like love interest?
Donna Noble has been saved.
Sweetie? Your screwdriver.
She's good.
Looks exactly like mine.
Yeah. You gave it to me.
I don't give my screwdriver to anyone.
I'm not anyone.
Who are you?
Yeah.
What's the plan?
There's a Donna Noble somewhere in this library. Do you have the software to locate her position?
Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble has been saved. Donna Noble has been saved.
How can it be Donna?
Donna Noble has been saved. Donna Noble has left the library.
So all the faces, those are the people that were saved? The 4,022?
Doctor, what are we gonna do?
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble has been saved.
Oh, it's a two-parter. That just flew by. Wow. That's quite the episode, isn't it? But Donna and River's song, most interesting. I like her. I like her. Right then, episode 8. I mean, Moffat does it again. You know, that was just fantastic. I mean, I thought that was really quite good. I think that was actually my favorite episode of this series, of Series 4. And, you know, actually, it might even be in my all-time list. I really did enjoy that. That was really good. I mean, it's certainly top 10, you know, easily. It's got to be top 10, you know. It even could be top 5, to be honest. I mean, Series 4 has had some good episodes, but this, I think, stands out as the best so far. I mean, I just felt like everything was quite stellar about this episode. The directing, the cinematography, the acting, and, you know, the writing, of course, Moffat. And, of course, once again, I do have to mention Murray Gold's music. Yeah, it's so fantastic, isn't it? And, you know, there was actually even some new music. You know, I liked... you know, there at moments there's this really ominous tone to some of these scenes, you know, the background ominous music. It was quite noticeable throughout the episode. And then, you know, there was a bit of a new theme, actually, not a bit of a new theme, it was a new theme for River's song and the Doctor. I quite like that as well. And I absolutely loved the setting of this episode, you know, and the concept of being stuck in this grand, iconic library, right? The biggest in the universe, according to the Doctor. So yeah, you know, the setting is so grand. I just loved it. And I really love the tension that was created here, right? Or this location or this setting really allowed for that tension or that build-up as the Doctor and Donna walk around in this empty library, right? I mean, there's no immediate or clear physical threat, right? Yet there's this distinct unease about the situation, right? You know, a constant fear, perhaps, that something is always there, right? Lurking in the shadows. And, you know, I mean that as the figure of speech, right? Lurking in the shadows. But, you know, it turns out that indeed there was literally something lurking in the shadows, right? And the sense of tension and buildup, I thought that was so effective because of the pacing. I thought it was beautifully paced, and it really made... I thought it really made it much more transportive. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I really did have this feeling of being there, right? Being in that library with this group. And I felt the pacing really excelled in this manner because it really allows you to sit in there, right? Really kind of take it all in, take in the setting, the surroundings. That's how I felt about it, right? To me, it actually felt like a transportive experience. The Impossible Planet had a similar feeling as well, and of course that was a two-parter, and so is this, of course, you know, that cliffhanger. So yeah, you know, I feel like it being a two-parter also allowed it to have this kind of pacing, right? It was a really deliberate pace for a big chunk of this episode. And I really liked it. Now I simply have to, you know, begin with Professor River's song. Easily one of the most exciting character introductions since I started the show. She is intriguing. She is fascinating. So likable. I was immediately on board. I mean, I can easily see this character, River's song, becoming one of my favorites. easily. I mean, it was such a fantastic first impression of a new character. And, a bit earlier I mentioned the acting. I mean, her performance was the standout. I mean, her performance or her acting is crucial in selling this, right? And making this believable, this unique occurrence that's going on, this setup. You really believe that she's known the Doctor for a long, long time. And it's not just down to, like, the delivery of the dialogue. It's the facial expressions, the facial acting, right? The physical acting, the way she looks at him and moves around him. Again, I really sold it. I really believed it that she's known this individual for a long, long time. I've got to say, man, just one episode, one appearance, and I'm such a fan of this character. And all of that kind of plays into the fact that this kind of felt like that they kicked off something quite major in the storyline of Doctor Who. And I mean perhaps something long term. From the sounds of things, I'll get into it, but it certainly had that epic feeling of something kicking off, right? The beginning of something epic. Now, I just mentioned the beginning of something epic. That's kind of relative, right? Because it is a unique situation here, because it appears that they are headed in opposite directions through time, right? She's from the Doctor's future, his personal future, as she specified to Donna, right? So essentially, the Doctor has done things that are now part of her past. So she's had so much time with the Doctor. They have a history together, as far as she's concerned, right? But the Doctor has yet to experience any of that. So it's a really unique setup, a really unique situation. So essentially, he has a future in the past. Years ago for River, years from now for the Doctor. Right, so it appears that this is just the beginning of the Doctor's journey on this shared history of theirs. And, in that sense, there's also a bit of a sad prospect or possibility that this could be the end of River Song's journey, right? As they are going in opposite directions through time. And this actually reminds me of a major plot point from Christopher Nolan's newest film, or his latest film, Tenet. Yeah, it's actually quite similar. And, this came out long before that film. Though she did say, or she did tell Donna, that the message arrived too early this time, right? And that he hasn't actually met her yet. Or he hasn't actually met me yet. So this is the Doctor in his days before he knew me. And she noticed a distinct change in the Doctor, right? She's just like studying his face, and it's clear that she's not used to this. I mean, she said, this is younger than she's ever seen him before, right? And she mentioned his eyes, so she thought he was young. And the Doctor, of course, said, I'm really not. But to her, this is the youngest she's seen him, right? So even that. Right, that's one of the really exciting things about this character introduction. The times they've had together, a rich history, right, adventures they've had together. I love how they had this system in place, right? They had rules. She pulled out the journal. Essentially, it was like a TARDIS journal, and then she proceeds like she's done it so many times. And of course, the Doctor is kind of clueless, right? He's absolutely clueless, and he has this blank look on his face, just staring at her. And she actually name-dropped a few incidents. The crash of the Byzantium, right? And the picnic in Asgard. So, now I have to be on the lookout for these incidents, or at least one of them, if not both. At some point, if they come up down the line. And you see that even the Doctor had the urge to open up the journal, right? But of course, Rivers stepped in and grabbed the book or the journal from him. And she said it's against the rules. And she stated that it was his own rules, right? And she also called it spoilers. Just like the Doctor took the book from Donna in the beginning of the episode, right? And he called it spoilers. So I thought that was some great setup in the beginning of the episode. And, at one point he does ask River, who are you to me? But she just said, again, spoilers. so she's doing her part in making sure it continues to play out like it's meant to play out, right? Or it's meant to be. She can't risk changing things by letting him see inside the journal, right? Or she can't straight out explain to him who she is to him, right? That has to play out, right? And he'll find out at some point, right? He'll find out. And of course, me as well, right? Because at this point in time, the Doctor and the audience are in the same boat. So as the Doctor finds out, I'm also going to find out. But here's the question, right? This begs the question, just how old is River Song herself, right? Because, she's been meeting up with the Doctor for some time now, and from the sounds of things, different iterations of the Doctor, right? So perhaps over the span of multiple regenerations. Again, she mentioned, I've never seen you this young before. I mean, I think it's clear enough that she's not just any normal human, right? There is something special about her as well, to be able to do this, right? So let's see how it plays out. Like I said, I'm quite excited about this character. Now, going back to the concept of who she is to the Doctor, I mean, based on a lot of things throughout the episode, I got the feeling that she's more of a love interest for the Doctor. So, I'm just going to stick to that. My initial feeling on the matter. And it really did feel like she might be some sort of love interest. I mean, clearly this is meant to be someone that is important to the Doctor, and that the Doctor ends up having a lot of trust in, right? Again, he hasn't experienced any of this yet, but she has, right? There's that scene of the sonic screwdriver, and she's like, it's yours, you gave it to me, right? And he's like, I don't give it to anyone. And, her reply, I'm not just anyone. So yeah, there's a lot of trust there. And you see that throughout the episode that Donna starts to become protective, right? And, she's showing concern. You'll see shots of her, like the camera pans to Donna every now and then as she notices the Doctor and River Song. Perhaps even a bit of jealousy, right? I think there was a bit of that as well. That takes me to the other point. The fact that River knew about Donna. In fact, she said her complete name, Donna Noble, right? So clearly, the Doctor tells her about Donna at some point. But the thing that has me concerned is River's expression, right? That was quite a concerning expression on her face. Right? And this is, of course, in reply to Donna asking her about, how come you don't know me, right? What happens to me in the future? And you see the expression on River's face. Now, by the end of this episode, Donna does become one of those courtesy nodes, right? Or her face, or at least her face is attached to one. But surely this isn't the end of Donna's journey. This is episode 8 of series 4, right? There's a lot of episodes still to go. So I'm confident that there is going to be some sort of explanation for this. No chance that this is the end for Donna, at episode 8. And actually, they do give us something quite important, something quite interesting, because Dr. Moon, he sits down before he departs, right? He has this one-on-one with this girl, and he tells her that the real world, essentially their world, right, it's a lie, and that her nightmares are real, right? The library is real. Now, since the beginning, it was quite clear, right, that the library is real, of course, because Donna and the Doctor and these other characters show up, right? River Song and the others on the expedition. So right from the beginning, something seemed off, right? Something quite interesting is going on, from that cold open. And, Dr. Moon does tell her that only she can save them. So she's the one who makes things happen. So clearly something interesting is going on here. It actually kind of reminds me of The Matrix, an illusion of sorts. They tried to call up the security processor, right? Through the terminal, and it connected to the girl, right? It connected to this girl. Later she tells her dad that Donna Noble has been saved, right? And, her face ends up on one of those nodes, right? And then they also said earlier that 4,022 people have been saved, right? And no signs of bodies, right? So are they being transported or shifted? I'm not sure what to call it, but is something going on here that is shifting these people, or has shifted these people potentially, to this other place, this place that kind of feels like the Matrix or an illusion. And then of course, the question also becomes, how come it's this girl that's in charge and is able to make all these things happen, right? Why a little girl in this position? So of course, a lot of things need to be answered in part 2. So I am quite excited for part 2. Ooh, also, the girl really likes to draw, right? And as you might have noticed, one of the drawings really caught my attention during the episode. It appeared to be a blonde woman, right? Is this meant to be Rose? You see that right under it, it's a dog or a wolf, right? So I'm thinking that, this could be a bit of an Easter egg, or again, another clue or some foreshadowing once again, that, that Rose is coming back, right? She is returning. They said that in one of the other episodes, right? In the Fires of Pompeii, or Doctor, she has returned, or she is returning. So yeah, I think that might be Rose. So I'm loving the foreshadowing in Series 4, right? Again, you go to the series opener. Of course, Rose herself shows up there. And then you go to the Fires of Pompeii. A lot of really interesting things are said in that episode, right? And set up in that episode. There's something on your back, right? She's returning. A lot of really interesting things came out of that episode. And then, of course, there's even a little bit of it in Planet of the Ood, right? And now in this episode as well. And of course, that flash of Rose on the monitor inside the TARDIS. So yeah, a lot of things are being foreshadowed. And, of course, going back to Donna, I mean, she continues to be the heart of the show at the moment, right? She looked out for Miss Evangelista, right? She didn't like the way she was being treated by the others. Yes, in comparison, she's quite inadequate, but, that's just how she is. And you see that Donna felt pity for her, right? And she couldn't stand to watch her being treated like that. And she wanted to kind of be nice to her. And, that's the type of person Donna Noble is, right? She's caring, she's inclusive, she's kind. And as Miss Evangelista said, right, in those final moments, that relay, that ghosting scene, is the nice woman there. That's Donna Noble for you, right? Again, the heart of the show. And another thing I really liked about the writing here is that Moffat established empathy, right, for the characters, and for this character actually, Miss Evangelista. And because of that, her death does end up being quite powerful, doesn't it? Emotional and even dark. Quite effective at the end of the day. I mean, that ghosting scene is actually just quite chilling and haunting, right? And it kind of just lingers there. And you see that even there, Donna continues to do her best, right? To be her support in these final moments, right? To help her move on. Yeah, it really was quite a standout scene of Series 4. There's that moment as she's kind of stuck saying ice cream, and I felt that it's essentially her saying I scream, right, as in like screaming. So yeah, it's a haunting scene for sure. And there's that moment as all of them are just kind of standing there and listening. I think that's about it. For this episode. I mean, it's a fantastic episode. It really is. It's one of the best. In my opinion, it's the best of Series 4 so far. It's certainly my favorite of Series 4 so far. It's such an exciting introduction to a new character. I'm so excited about this. I mean, Moffat does it once again, and this is a two-parter, so I'm excited. I'm so excited for part 2. So if you enjoyed this, consider dropping a like, consider dropping some comments, give me your thoughts. If you're interested in full length to this episode, or perhaps even early access to the next episode right now, consider checking out the Patreon page. And the link to the Patreon page is in the pinned comment or the description. Right then, thanks for joining me for this fantastic episode of Doctor Who. And, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. Until then, take it easy.